Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees to our Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call of our Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita sessions. And today we are going to hear Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita summary session of chapter 53. Before handing over the call, I would like to read the quote for the day of Srila Prabhupada. December 2nd, Krishna is the root of everything. If he is pleased, everyone will be pleased. If you water on the root, the water will be distributed all over the tree. This is the best service to the humanity. Letter to Mr. Keshavan, December 2, 1976. Hare Krishna, Sita, Priti, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving your precious time and association and giving the chapter summary, Mataji. Now I hand over the call to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dharmat Pranam. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the warm welcome and welcoming all the devotees. Hare Krishna. Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Krishna, Shrimati Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj Name Bas Prakash Pracharam Katham Sattva Saraswati Devi Gaurava Shishana Jai Shri Krishna Prabhu Prabhu Nityananda Shadvaita Gadadhar Srivasati Gaurava Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah, Mataji, is the slide seen?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, okay. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, as we all have come up with the 53rd chapter of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, and this chapter is indeed there are so much emotions, and it is such a mixed chapter that when you read through it itself, it gives a glimpse of the determination which Srila Prabhupada had to spread Krishna consciousness and to give the love of Krishna to each and every person and all over the world. So the chapter is named as Krishna's Great Soldier. Now this wording, Krishna's Great Soldier, also comes in the chapter wherein Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj says that it's Srila Prabhupada is Krishna's Great Soldier. So we'll see how the chapter unfolds and what is Srila Prabhupada's journey in this part of his life. So please bless me that I can put the emotions which Srila Prabhupada had. I know whatever was going on that time, it is very hard to even think about it. But then I will try my best so that the mood of a Vaishnava can be thoroughly applied in each and every one of us. And I could just explain whatever I have understood. And please stop me wherever you feel that you can add some things. Hare Krishna. So the chapter is named Krishna's Great Soldier. So now, as we saw in the last week, as we saw that Srila Prabhupada was ready to travel. He wanted to go to the US, and he had many plans when he was moving towards he wanted to move towards US. But also we saw that his health was not very good, and that is the reason many of the devotees were not ready that he shouldn't be traveling. But Srila Prabhupada's plans were different. And the more prominently what is that Srila Prabhupada always had his guru's order in his mind, that his guru had said, you go to the West and preach. So till the last end of his life, he always wanted to preach. So he was not more concerned that where he is going to leave his body. He always said that when he is following his guru's order, that is the best service he can do. So now this chapter starts with the flight. As we saw last time that there were many impediments which were coming in Srila Prabhupada's travel. First, the visa problem or the flight, and then it was also seen that there was a strike at the London airport, and that is the reason the flights and the tickets were all getting problematic. But then at some point, Srila Prabhupada also thought that whatever is there, whoever is there, if Tamal Krishna Goswami is not there, I will go with another devotee who can be along with me. But things happened that Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj could also go with him. And then when they were in the flight, Srila Prabhupada was not, his condition was very weak. So then he had to be carried in a palanquin, he had to be carried, and then their journey started when he landed at the airport. Now, in this thing, it is seen like every part, when you've seen from the beginning, each and every part, it has not been very easy for Srila Prabhupada. Always like some of the other difficulties, though there were paths, there were solutions to it, but it was not a very easy journey for him. The same when he started with his journey towards London, it saw that there was this strike at the London airport, and then the flight took a long time, and it was too long that Srila Prabhupada had to bear with the inconvenience which was there. But at that same time, it is also seen that his determination to travel did not, all these impediments did not hamper any of his tasks over there. It was for him, it was that it is in Krishna's hands. Wherever I go, Krishna will make the proper arrangements for it. When they were in the flight took long time to land, because of the strike, that the flight had to be, it kept on moving, it kept on circling and circling in the sky, and then after a long time, it is said finally after 20 hours, like normally from India to UK, I think it takes 7 to 8 hours. But then it took 20 hours for them to land after leaving Delhi. It took 20 hours for them to land at the Heathrow airport. Like when I was reading through each and every instances over here, we feel that, like when we are in this material world, when we are still into all these things, it feels so much of inconvenience when something, when you're caught in a traffic also, you feel so much of pain, so much of anxiety is there. But Srila Prabhupada knew what he wanted, and he was with his disciples. So he was thinking about the London devotees and the deities over there. And this way he started with his journey. Now, again, over here, Srila Prabhupada, as we said, he had gone very thin, and he had lost a lot of weight. And so he was taken by a wheelchair. And fortunately, at the airport also, he was allowed with the wheelchair, and his journey started from there. Now he knew that Malkrishna Goswami Maharaj had also told him that the London disciples are enthusiastically, they are waiting for him, and they're waiting for him. And now at the London airport, when these devotees had come, it is like it is mentioned in one of in this thing, that it is not that the first time that Srila Prabhupada was traveling, right? We have seen that Srila Prabhupada has traveled all over the world for the Krishna consciousness movement for nearly 14 times, right? All over the world when he is all over the world when he's traveled. So it was not a very it was not a very odd thing for him. Like when he went from to New York, and from New York he had been traveling to all the parts of the world. The skyscrapers, the buildings, the opulence over there was not a very new thing for Srila Prabhupada. So it is said that it was not a cultural shock for Srila Prabhupada. Now this cultural shock again is mentioned over here, because what happens is, like when somebody is like was going traveling for the first time to the Western states, then looking at the opulence, it might feel that, oh, this is like so good. But Srila Prabhupada was not a village guru. He had his own plans, he had his own agenda to be done, and therefore all these material things never distracted him from anything, or he never fall prey to any of these things. So each and every paragraph over here, like gives a glimpse of how we should be in this material world. No matter how much we are looking at the opulence around, like how not to get affected by this material world, and not to fall prey for the for all the so-called nice things which you see around. So this is again another learning from over here, is that whatever is there is Krishna's, and we have to use it for the service of or to spread the love of Krishna. So it is nothing out of the world, it is given by Krishna, and we are using it for Krishna. So over here it is said, see, he was no Hindu village guru, suddenly astonished to see hundreds and automobile racing on the highway, or see factory smoke or skyscrapers, or the blind rat race of the meat eaters. There was no question of cultural shock for Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada was transcendental already. All things did not matter him a bit. Now, the main shock which mentioned over here, which I thought was that, like when the devotees are at the London airport, when they saw Srila Prabhupada, it was a shock for them. Because Srila Prabhupada, the earlier Srila Prabhupada, which they had seen, and now Srila Prabhupada had lost a lot of weight, and they were not expecting that Srila Prabhupada would really come to London, but yet he had come because of his causeless mercy. He had traveled all the way to London so that he can further plan. He had plans to go to US as well. And over there, as in the next part, as we move, we can see when when he had to plans to move to London, move to US. Tamal Krishna asked him that what are your plans? Is it anything special that are you planning in the US, that you really want to go to the US? And Srila Prabhupada said that the next step which he had to implement over there was the Varnashrama. And he was really happy with the new Talavan, new Vrindavan, where the things were already set up, where they were having farms, and then they were doing according to the scriptures how they were living. Now, the next step which he wanted to implement was the Varnashrama. So he had his plans, he had his things properly chalked out. Now, only he was depending upon Krishna, that if Krishna wishes, only then things will happen. So this is again a second thing, again a third point which I felt like Srila Prabhupada, at every step he was like, if Krishna is going to wish, only then things will happen. And another more important part in each and every part over here in this chapter, we can see that Srila Prabhupada said that when somebody asked him, like, how are you going to go and travel, and how will you stay there and look at your health? And Srila Prabhupada was so, he said that my disciples are going to encourage me. So this encouragement which he took was from the disciples. This is also such a, a guru. It's not, he does not need encouragement from his disciples. But Srila Prabhupada, he gave importance to his disciples to such a level that he, in the further chapter, we can see that he even asked them questions. He even asked them their views and their, like, what do they think about a matter? And then he took a decision. It is not that a guru is going to depend upon the disciples for his decision, but Srila Prabhupada always he always had his disciples in his mind. He always took care of them. As a loving father, he always was there for his disciples, so he could never neglect them. Now, so then these devotees who were waiting at the London airport, they were first shocked to see the difference in Srila Prabhupada, but at the same time, they were very happy that Srila Prabhupada had come to London. And more happy they were because Srila Prabhupada had chosen London to come to stop over there in London and be with the London devotees. So they were really very happy with it. Now over here, Srila Prabhupada, I'll just read this part over here. They had been praying for him for months because this, as we said in the earlier part, like Srila Prabhupada's travel was having a lot of impediments and the devotees were waiting. They did not know exactly where Srila Prabhupada is going to travel. Is he going to be able to travel? Looking at his health, is he really going to be able to travel? So then the devotees over there were playing, my Lord, my dear Lord Krishna, if you desire, please cure Srila Prabhupada, had been printed on the banner and hung over Prabhupada's Vyasasan. So, like there are so many times we have our own agendas, we have our own plans. But then this part which is there, my dear Lord Krishna, if you so desire, this part, I think we always miss out on that part. I like from my own thinking, I always feel that, I have my own thinkings that, the things should happen in this way. Things should happen so fast, or it should happen exactly as I wish. Like many of us feel. But then if the prayer is that, my dear Lord Krishna, if you so desire, this is so important, that shows the surrender of the person. And over here, Srila Prabhupada had inculcated all these values in his disciples, in his disciples to such a level that at this level, when everybody, if we were at that time, we would have fought with Krishna, that Krishna, do not take Srila Prabhupada away at this time. There are so many things to be done. But this surrender which is there is really very heart touching. Each and every line when we read ahead, it is, like when this part comes, that whether Srila Prabhupada will be able to travel or not. Because in the last part also we saw when Mr. Sethi asks Srila Prabhupada that, oh, what if something happens to you? That thing itself brings in tears, that they were already knew that Srila Prabhupada's condition was not good. And this is when he is at the age of 82. He's going to turn 82 soon. At this time when Srila Prabhupada is traveling, I cannot imagine, because at 45 and 50 itself, we are like done. We are done with everything. Now we cannot do anymore. Or we are so tired and so helpless. But Srila Prabhupada at that age, at the age of 82 also, he had his plans. And he knew how to execute them, or at least he wanted his disciples to do that. So this can only happen when it is Krishna's causeless mercy on his pure devotee. And that's our dear Srila Prabhupada. So as we move ahead, as we move ahead, the devotees at London, England, they were waiting for Srila Prabhupada since weeks. And then when Srila Prabhupada went to the temple, he saw the deities, Shri Radha Gokulan, and the devotees all waiting to see him. Over here, they've said that Srila Prabhupada was wearing glasses. At one point over there, it's also mentioned that behind the glasses, he was in tears when he saw the deities. And and the devotees were waiting to see his gestures. And when even only when the kirtan was going on, and when Srila Prabhupada just moved his with the thumb, with his finger thumbs, he just tapped, so that as he is enjoying the kirtan, that itself brought a wave of joy in the devotees, and in his disciples, and all the devotees over there started dancing. It was as if they were dancing at such an extent that they were just about to touch the roof of the temple. Such was the expression and such was the love that they were showering on Srila Prabhupada. And only his small hand gestures. See, some devotees stood in front of him, and with a small gesture, characteristic of his hand, he waved them aside. Without any change of expression, he sat and concentrated on the deities of Shri Radha Gokulanand. And these deities again were named by Srila Prabhupada 4 years ago, when he had come to England. So he was very happy that they are taken care of, because when Srila Prabhupada has installed the deities, Srila Prabhupada always knew that these devotees are new devotees. They are new to Krishna consciousness. They are learning things. So there will be many mistakes from them. But he had prayed to these deities that please accept their service. They are trying to be devotees, and please accept their service. And so he was very happy that the devotees are taking care of everything is taken care of when he was not there in London. Now, when Srila Prabhupada came, when Srila Prabhupada came to London, the Bhakti Vedant manor was always very close to him. He always felt very nice when he came there. The view from the rooms was very nice, the large window, the large lawn. So Srila Prabhupada always loved it over there. And when he came over there, this time his condition was not very good. But yet when the prasadam plate was given to him, he just picked up a milk sweet and he just tasted a piece of mango. And to look at him, to see his view, or to have his darshan, there were hundreds of devotees who tried to get into the room. And Srila Prabhupada just said to him, is everyone all right? Like, when we see our Guru Maharajas, when they come, everybody, since morning, everybody is waiting that they can have a glimpse of Guru Maharajas. And when Guru Maharajas addresses everyone, it just spreads a happiness just comes, that no matter if Guru Maharaj has talked to you directly, but when he is addressing addressing everyone, you still feel that he is still talking to you personally. And this is what also happened over there. So he said, is everyone all right? When he was having, as though he was in pain, though he was not in a very good health condition, he was asking everyone, is everyone all right? And for I think for the devotees at that time, that would have been, see, Jai Srila Prabhupada was the warm reply, which all his disciples and the devotees who were there, they replied to Srila Prabhupada. They're looking at Srila Prabhupada, they were already a little uncomfortable that Srila Prabhupada, though in his this age and his this condition, he's traveling, but looking at Srila Prabhupada and his when he addressed them, they were really very happy. Now Srila Prabhupada also wanted to he wanted to rest as well. So when he was resting, then Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj had taken care so that Srila Prabhupada does not exert himself, or he does not it does not become a lot of hectic for him. Now, Srila Prabhupada over here, when Tamal Krishna Goswami was there with him, what he said was, Tamal Krishna told how someone had suggested Srila Prabhupada to go to Tehran or Italy or France, but because of the airport strike at London, but how he had said, I want to go to London. As we said that the London deities were very dear to Srila Prabhupada. So then Srila Prabhupada had said that what is the use of, see over here, he said, according to Shastras, a devotee, this is what Srila Prabhupada had said, according to Shastras, a devotee should stay in Vrindavan, especially at the end of his life. But because Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master had ordered him to go to the West and preach, he had returned determined to fulfill the mission until his last. So our Guru Maharaj's words are so important. This is what Srila Prabhupada has taught us, that how whatever your Guru Maharaj, through the lectures, it might not be that your Guru Maharaj is directly talking to you, but when it is an instruction given by your Guru Maharaj, how it is very, very important that we try to fulfill it till the end of our life. Whatever we can do to fulfill that instruction is itself a big Guru Dakshina which we can give to our Guru Maharaj. And this is what Srila Prabhupada has taught us. Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj had told him that go to the West and preach, and this is what Srila Prabhupada was doing till the end of his life, when he did not know what his next day was going to be. So the devotees were really touched by this thing. Now, the disciples and the devotees over there in London, they were trying all the ways and means by which Srila Prabhupada could stay over there. Now, what was going to be the thing which could, which could make Srila Prabhupada happy, which could make Srila Prabhupada want to stay in London more? And they knew the nerve of their Guru. They knew what would make him happy. And that was, without any doubt, was the spreading of Krishna consciousness, that was through preaching and through book distribution. So then they said that they thought that, why can't we reciprocate with Srila Prabhupada by holding a book distribution marathon and then show this course to Srila Prabhupada? That would really, really make him happy, and he would stay over here for a long time. This is again in one of my, I think one of the chapters which I had given. Again, in that also there was a case wherein a devotee wanted Srila Prabhupada to stay over there, and he had made all the arrangements so that Srila Prabhupada can stay in that place. So this is what the disciples always think of, that the Guru should always be along with them. So then because Srila Prabhupada had come to London, and other disciples all over the world, they were not sure what the next move for Srila Prabhupada would be. Would he be able to travel to the US, or will he going back to India? They did not know anything. So from all over the world, his disciples, whoever could come, they had come to London. So among them was Bhagwan, and he went into when he met Srila Prabhupada, he was a leader from Southern Europe. So when Srila Prabhupada saw him, Srila Prabhupada was very happy. And Srila Prabhupada, again, he mentioned also that Tamal Krishna has brought me over here, and with so much of difficulty, he's taking care of me. And now that I am over here in the shelter of Radha Gokulananda. So then when Bhagwan Prabhu came, he gave Srila Prabhupada the report, like what he's doing and how he has printed new books. I'll just read out over here. Bhagwan presented Srila Prabhupada with newly printed books, an Italian Bhagavad Gita as it is, another volume of Srimad Bhagavatam in French, and other books in Dutch. The total book distribution in Europe, Bhagwan reported, had surpassed that of America. So this was a very, very big thing for him. Everybody likes to, it is nothing proud to be proud of, but he had mentioned it in such a way that because Srila Prabhupada should be happy about it, that the book distribution in the was at a very great speed, and also the main thing was that the scriptures were getting translated into different languages, and that is what made Srila Prabhupada very happy about. So when then Srila Prabhupada was always very appreciative. And I think, this thing is very lacking in today's world, like maybe in the material world, more probably, that appreciating someone is become so very rare that people just take things for granted. And Srila Prabhupada at this age and this stage, when he was there, small things just made him a lot of, he had become, what do you say? He had become very sensitive, that a small things also would make him very happy. With his happiness, he would like tears would roll his eyes. And small thing, and this was a really big thing, that Bhagwan had distributed the books and he had translated the books. And he even said over here, Tamal, did you hear that? Prabhupada asked, this is my life. Come here. Srila Prabhupada began rubbing Bhagwan's head. Can we just, if this thought also comes to your mind, that Srila Prabhupada rubbing the devotees, how fortunate, and how fortunate that the person would be whose hands, like on whose head Srila Prabhupada hands have been had. He rubbed and he was in tears again. So this stage of Srila Prabhupada's life was very sensitive. He was like, when he looked at the crowd of the disciples, he had tears in his eyes. When he looked at the temple deities, he had tears in his eyes. And when some of them gave him such good news or good things about the book distribution also, he just tears would start rolling from his eyes. And then now Bhagwan, when he was distributing books, he had a lot of problems also over there. But when Srila Prabhupada said, you have no problems, he said to Bhagwan, he took it as Srila Prabhupada's words, that yes, if Srila Prabhupada has said there will be no problems, there will be no problems. But in reality, he had many problems when he was translating, or when the books were getting translated into different languages, and for the distribution also. But still, he did not say anything. He just said that his Srila Prabhupada's blessings were what he needed. See, for Bhagwan, there was no need for Prabhupada to say anymore. Prabhupada's order was already in his heart and soul. So this is what, again, as a disciple, as a devotee, we should have, that our Guru Maharaj's order should be in our heart and our soul. Now, Srila Prabhupada's mood was always of thankfulness, and without his usual critical instruction, he simply wanted to be with his devotee and encourage them. This is what Srila Prabhupada had really come to the West for, that he wanted to encourage them so that they can go ahead in his absence also, they can go ahead in the process of Krishna consciousness. This is what Srila Prabhupada always wanted: distribute the books and make more devotees, produce more books, let it get translated. And these, what he said was, these books are the mercy of my Guru Maharaj. No author throughout the world has written so many books like the Bhagavatam, all the books which are there, the Bhagavatam, all the cantos, the Bhagavad Gita in so many languages. None other books have been written in so many languages. This is what Srila Prabhupada also said. Neither their books have been so widely read or with such appreciation. So these were the gratefulness which Srila Prabhupada had towards his disciples, that they are working for the propagation of Krishna consciousness. Now, now there are times when Srila Prabhupada has, there are thoughts about India, there are thoughts about going to the US, and how things are different in different places. Now, over here, when Srila Prabhupada said that he had come to encourage these devotees, which is really very, your, if I can say, like when our Guru Maharajas come, when they even look at you, you feel done. I've had his darshan, you feel, right? Maybe you can have his personal darshan or not is a second thing. But when your Guru Maharaj looks at you also, you feel so content. And so when Srila Prabhupada came over here to the temple in the morning, when he came down, he told devotees here are Vaikuntha men. Imagine how much of happiness the devotees over there would be feeling. Good looking and nice dressing. Gokulanand is so beautiful. I shall be glad. Now again, this when you read this, you again feel that why is Srila Prabhupada talking like this? But I shall be glad to die in that condition amongst the devotees and seeing Gokulanand. So for Srila Prabhupada, everything, every place was Vrindavan. Wherever his devotees, wherever his disciples and the devotees of the Lord are there, and the Lord is there, that place itself is Vrindavan. And so the devotees had come to see Srila Prabhupada, who looked very wonderful in the dark sunglasses and freshly pressed silk dhoti and kurta with clean, clear Vaishnava tilak on his forehead. He would come gliding down the stairs on the palanquin carefully. Now this again, everywhere it is mentioned because, sorry, because Srila Prabhupada was in no condition to walk all the way. So he was taken very carefully in a palanquin, and the disciples would take care of him, that they would take him to the room and again back to the Vyasasana wherever he needed to be there. And then again at the temple, there were kirtans going on, and Srila Prabhupada really appreciated the kirtan. As we said that when when the kirtan was going on, he's still behind his dark glasses, his tears would come rolling down when he used to hear the chanting and the dancing and the rejoicing of the disciples and the devotees over there. And that itself would bring him to, he said that the encouragement which is, he says that he is come to encourage the devotees. But at times he's also said that my disciples are encouraging me. And when Tamal Krishna Goswami asked him that, Maharaj asked him that, what do you think, will we be able to go to the US? And then Srila Prabhupada used to say, you encourage me. You know, it's a total different level of realization over here, that when the guru is also asking the disciples, he does not need any encouragement, but look at the importance which a guru can give to his disciple. As we move, Haribol, I'm audible, right? It's okay, Haribol?
Yes, Mataji. Perfect.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So then now see, when we see a photo of Krishna, okay, when we are like normally when its painting is done, it seems that whenever in whichever direction you go, you feel that suppose you go from left to right, right to left, you feel that the painting, that the whichever picture, if it is of a person or if it is Lord's picture, you feel that the Lord is looking at you. And this is what the devotees over here were witnessing. The devotees at the manor agreed that Radha Gokulanand seemed to be looking especially at Srila Prabhupada. Such a beautiful realization. Some felt by witnessing Srila Prabhupada and Radha Gokulananda, they were looking directly upon the spiritual world. I don't know when this sort of realizations will at least come to my mind, but like Srila Prabhupada and Radha Gokulananda, both of them in one picture, they could see that as if they were looking at the spiritual world. And there is no further explanation for this. No, this is just a expression which one should feel about. And that feeling also, I don't know, that feeling has to come when you become a very pure devotee, when you can see, so many times we see our Guru Maharaj and we see the deity. But this feeling, I don't know, it hasn't come to my mind as yet. So the devotees over there must be really at a very different level. So each morning, now when Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was taking care of Srila Prabhupada, he knew that that Srila Prabhupada was getting very sensitive, and he should not be more crying, or he should not get more emotional. He was taking a lot care of Srila Prabhupada. So he even asked the devotees over there, that Tamal Krishna asked the devotees not to sing the Guru Puja because it created too much emotions for Srila Prabhupada. So this is what a true disciple will be like, thinking about his Guru Maharaj in such a way wherein whatever is going to be hampering his health, hampering his Guru Maharaj health, that can be avoided. Sometimes when our Guru Maharaj is come and some of the senior devotees, they tell us, oh, you cannot meet your Guru Maharaj now, he's resting. We feel bad about it. But on the other hand, if we take it in such a way that whatever is good for our Guru Maharaj, that is what the senior devotees are doing, then it will bring a peace of mind, and it will bring much more happiness, just thinking that whatever is needed for the betterment of our Guru Maharaj, that is being done. That self, this through Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj's actions, this also can be a learning lesson for all of us. So this, as we said, that just raising one finger of Srila Prabhupada, also when the kirtan was going on and Srila Prabhupada, just, when you are enjoying the mood or when you're enjoying the tune, you just tap with your hands or you do some gestures. Small gestures of Srila Prabhupada also made a big change for all these devotees over here. So, yeah, so and now as Srila Prabhupada had already come to London, they also knew that Srila Prabhupada had his plans to go to America, right? So then they were thinking that what could be done so that Srila Prabhupada could be felt at home and he could stay over here with Radha Londoneshwar and Radha Gokulananda, because they were his one of his favorite favorite deities. But then too, Krishna had his own plans. Whatever Srila Prabhupada wanted, he really wanted them to do it. Now, when Srila Prabhupada came over here, looking at all the disciples and looking at such beautiful arrangements and everything, he also felt, like, I know these are some points. Every place has their own drawbacks. Now over here, Srila Prabhupada has properly mentioned over here. In India, what he said was that he had no wish to go back. Okay, I know in the further part, he also says that he wants to go back to India. He wants to go back to Bombay. But then over here in India, there is like not specifically in India, but each place has its own drawbacks. But in India specifically, when you have to implement something, you have the government's order, then there will be some other communities which will be having problem with it. Then there will be some internal problems. So a simple thing also to implement becomes a big task. So from taking the land, from taking the permissions, from getting, bribing people and all these sorts of things which are there, they are at a very high level. So a person might lose his cool in all this process. So then Srila Prabhupada over here, he was not so happy with those things also, that whatever project I made, the government has simply given me obstacles. I had to tax my brain so much, he said. And at times over here, things are so practical and they are so money minded people over here that you feel that this place has lost its own culture. The teachings of Bhagavad Gita, many of the people, if you ask about Bhagavad Gita has just, for them it becomes like, when you are old, then you have to do the Bhagavad Gita. It is not now, not for you now. So this is what, till now also things go on happening. Now when they come to know that, okay, what, in the London, that they have started Sanskrit in schools, in some other countries they have started, that time the schools now have understood the importance of Bhagavad Gita and they have started implementing it in the schools also. So over here, Srila Prabhupada again, he says, now they think everyone is God and they do not understand bhakti. The teachings of Bhagavad Gita, from the members of parliament to the members of the street, everywhere there is suspicion that I have bought CIA. Such a mistake they have made. So this was something which was disturbing, Srila Prabhupada. Okay, you know what? Like, I think I will stop this share and I will have a new share, because I did not have. I made the slides at the last moment, so then I'll just go back with our Veda base. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. Where were we? Yeah, produce books. Yeah. So now he's felt that over here in the UK, things are much more better and people are taking Krishna consciousness much more seriously. So then yeah, after a few days, Srila Prabhupada again got no, one second. Yeah. I thought this was the earlier chapter. Yeah. So as we move ahead, then it was that from the US residency, things were cleared, and then Srila Prabhupada could go over there also was a chance. Now Tamal Krishna conveyed that while Srila Prabhupada sat on a mat, that like there was Upendra who was coming to Upendra Prabhu, who used to come to massage Srila Prabhupada. Okay, and Srila Prabhupada, he was so much, like at that this phase of his life, he was so much into chanting also, that when there was massage going on or when he was sitting, massage means what, like it is at this stage it is saying that Srila Prabhupada had gone so thin that massage was just, it was just as if patting the body. It was not a thorough massage because he hardly had any muscles left. So instantly tears welled up in Srila Prabhupada's eyes, and with choked voice he said, America has been so good to give me money, men, everything. I have no designation that this is my country. But because they have given me so much facility, I cannot forget my obligation to them. So see how grateful Srila Prabhupada is, that he wants to make the disciples happy over there by going over there. And when his condition is very frail, when his body is really very frail, at that condition also, because America, it was in America that he started his movement over there, that the movement has flourished. He wanted to go to America and do whatever things he had planned. So as I told you, each and every line over here makes you cry, over here. I want to live a little longer, he said, to make everything more perfect. This is Srila Prabhupada's words, that I want to live a little longer. Now, this little longer is not for his family life, not for anything else. It's only so that he can make it more perfect. Imagine, like, we do not even do, at least for my side, I'm saying, I feel like I do things so incomplete, forget about perfection. And Srila Prabhupada has already done so many things, so many temples are already built, and now he wants to make it more perfect. And this is when Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj asks him that, is there any specific program, is there any specific idea that you have? And that time Srila Prabhupada told him that I want to introduce Varnashrama. At our Pennsylvania farm, the biggest problem of life is solved: food. That they were having their own farm, they were having their home cattle, and so the food problem was solved. Now he wanted to introduce the Varnashrama system. Then there were letters from Ghanasham in Eastern Europe, and Srila Prabhupada, like when he read those letters which came to England, Srila Prabhupada, Tamal Krishna bought him before Srila Prabhupada, because Ghanasham had come calling him near. Again, Prabhupada again stroked his head. This is parampara system, he said. My Guru Maharaj pushed me. This is very important. This chapter has so many wordings by Srila Prabhupada, that he said that this is parampara system. My Guru Maharaj pushed me. I am pushing you, and you are pushing others. It is like a train. So these small instructions, these small words which Srila Prabhupada had said really are very, very important. He explained some of the difficulties in preaching and how he was getting around, but Srila Prabhupada's mood had changed, and he gave all the credit that it was Krishna's mercy that everything was happening. Now, as at this point, again, it is that Srila Prabhupada was, when some news came, good things came, Srila Prabhupada used to get very happy with it. And when he was very happy, tears would start rolling from his eyes. And then his disciples and the devotees over there would also start crying with him. Now, like when we, just to extrapolate this thought, when a father, when a father does everything for his children, and when the children are exceeding, it gives a real pleasure, it gives a real happiness to the father, right? This is what exactly is seen over here. And Srila Prabhupada also said, very good, Srila Prabhupada, as a father likes to see his estate nicely managed, so I am like that. Get places and print books. Again and again, Srila Prabhupada had this same, make temples and print the books, and and spread the love of Krishna consciousness to everyone. Yara dekhe tara kahe Krishna Upadesh, and he asked, so what is Krishna Upadesh? Now he was also talking to them, that what is Krishna Upadesh? So then one of them said that we should preach everywhere. Then Srila Prabhupada, and then another one said that Sarva Dharma Parityarja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, that this is what, surrender to Krishna and then give the love of Krishna to everyone. Now at this time again, the pictures from Los Angeles Rath Yatra had come. And it was a complete story pictures, like all the step by step the pictures of the Rath Yatra. And when Srila Prabhupada saw them, again he was very happy to see it, and he was again very sensitive with it, and he again started crying. At this in this part, you can see that Srila Prabhupada was sensitive a lot of time, because he was seeing the progress of Krishna consciousness. A seed which he had sown had now become into a big tree and was bearing fruits. And that is the reason it was it was a happy feeling for Srila Prabhupada. So then he remembered about, when he was talking to them, he also remembered about the Rath Yatra which he was saw as a child. And when he was as a child, his Rath Yatra, we all know, right? His dad had given him the deities, and it was a small cart in which the Rath Yatra he had taken. But now these Rath Yatra pictures were huge, big carts and deities, and so much of crowd and so much of ecstasy and people dancing, the prasadam distribution, and it was at a very, tenfold times it was. So Srila Prabhupada had never imagined that it could be such a great thing, or he had never imagined that there could be such huge carts. We see over here, see, he says, Srila Prabhupada raised his eyebrows and said, "We have never seen such carts." And then when he saw some another pictures, he also saw a diorama. A diorama is basically a depiction of the part, or of a movie, or a small a miniature made of a scene. So changing bodies was exhibited in a diorama. And then Srila Prabhupada was like, he remembered the Bhagavad Gita verses from there. And then he was having a loving exchange with the devotees over there. And also looking at the Rath Yatra pictures, he was getting happy. His voice has choked, and he was like meditatingly, he just sat silently after looking at those pictures. Now, when Srila Prabhupada had, then he also visited the Sri Radha Landaneshwar deities. Again, in the palanquin, he went over there. Now, on the way back to the manor, Tamal Krishna recited to Srila Prabhupada the pastimes of Prabhupada's preaching days in London. Because now this is at a very later stage, right? Now, Srila Prabhupada is on his 82nd birthday. Now, when for his Vyasa Puja, because he was in London that time, the next day was Vyasa Puja. After Janmashtami, the next day was Vyasa Puja. So his 82nd birthday. So according to the Western, they had put 81 candles. So then Srila Prabhupada insisted that they have to put the 82nd candle also. So this was so Srila Prabhupada was, so see over here to say, he noticed that the devotees had only used 81 candles due to the counting age by the Western method. And then he told Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj that he should be adding one more candle over there. Now, after this celebrations and everything, it seemed that Srila Prabhupada's health got a little bit worse. That after coming to the temple, he had to rest, but then his condition was not very good. After coming to England, this was the first time that he had his health had gone down. Now again, there were plans that what is Srila Prabhupada exactly going to do? Is he going to go to the US, or is he going to go back to Bombay? So he now requested he be taken to India. See, now in the earlier part, we were seeing that Srila Prabhupada had said that India is not very favorable. But then too, he, as Srila Prabhupada said, right, Vrindavan is my house and Bombay is my office. So Srila Prabhupada wanted to fly back to Bombay. And what he said, see, if I live a few more days, he said, let me see the opening of Bombay temple. See, Srila Prabhupada, when he had no, it was not that he had his personal plans anywhere. He heard that it was that if he has to go to Bombay, again he has his own plans. Again, he has all his life was all Krishna conscious, right? So each and every step for him was related to the temple, related to the book distribution and preaching. So he said, if Lord has to let me live a little bit longer, then I would like to see the opening of the Bombay temple. Now, the opening of the Bombay temple was somewhere scheduled around the time of Dashera. I think during the during the Dashera time. So then he had like, once I see the temple over here, what he said, let me see the opening of the Bombay temple. We can wait here and then fly to Bombay. I have worked so hard for it. If I see the opening and then die, it will be very peaceful death. Even if I live, I can come back here. So Srila Prabhupada wanted to see the opening of the Bombay temple, and there were many of his disciples who were looking into it. Now Srila Prabhupada's health was getting a little bit better, but then too he felt that going to New York was not going to happen. So again, as Srila Prabhupada, he had in his talks then too, at this condition also, Srila Prabhupada had a little bit also humor in his talks. He always tried to make things funny. So then he said, okay, let us see what the astrological calculations are saying. And then let us see like what the predictions say about it. And the predictions were not very good. It said that the days ahead were really difficult. So Srila Prabhupada not going to America was really a little bit hard for the other devotees, but then to whatever was good for Srila Prabhupada's health, that had to be done. And then he should return to Mumbai and then to Vrindavan. So then after once his health was okay and everything was fine, then he had to move to Bombay back. Now, Brahmanand Swami had come from Africa, and Srila Prabhupada had, with great pleasure, he was the first disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he was he had come to meet Srila Prabhupada, and when he saw Srila Prabhupada and all the in the kirtan, he was exactly dancing, and then he was in the service of Srila Prabhupada. So basically, all the majority of his disciples had come from all over the places to see Srila Prabhupada, because they were not sure if Srila Prabhupada will be able to come to their place wherever they were. So now again over here, see, afterwards Tamal Krishna asked Srila Prabhupada what he had prayed. When he was praying to the detail, Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj asked Srila Prabhupada. And the answer which Srila Prabhupada gave was, I was praying to Radha Gokulanand to please engage me in the service of Sri Radha Rasbihari. So when that Srila Prabhupada, like, he's praying to Radha Gokulanand that he can serve Radha Rasbihari. So it is such a loving exchange that he's praying to the deities that let me be in the service. At any stage, he is still remembering the Lord and waiting for their service. And if I survive this time, he said, we shall go to Vrindavan Parikrama. You can carry me in the palanquin. This is what he ordered Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, that when I go to Mumbai, and then we can go to Vrindavan, and then you can take me to the Parikrama. Now at the airport again, Srila Prabhupada was, the Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj made arrangements that Srila Prabhupada could be at ease. He put some earphones in his ears so that he could hear some things, and the travel could be a little bit easier for Srila Prabhupada. Then Srila Prabhupada arrived in Mumbai, and he was taken to driven to the Hare Krishna land in Juhu, where the temple was being constructed. Now, now over here there is, sometimes you can feel like, look at this contradiction, you might feel that when Srila Prabhupada was in London, Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj did not want the devotees over there to even see the Guru Puja, because he will become a lot, it will be a lot troubling for Srila Prabhupada, because he's become very sensitive. But when he came to Juhu, the temple was being built over there. And they were like, when a temple is being built or when some construction is going on, there is a continuous sounds going on, right? The hammering or the drilling or something or the other is going on. So then when he came over there, Giriraj Maharaj had been called, and the Giriraj Maharaj was really concerned. He asked, like, the temple is being constructed, Srila Prabhupada, and will these noises which are there over here, won't they be a distraction for you, or will they not be will you be upset with all these noises which are going on, or they might be not very good for you? But what did Srila Prabhupada say? That these noises which are there, they are music for my ears, because this is what I am I'm living for, that the temple should come up, and whatever is going on, this is only for the temple to be built up, and this is really good for me. So don't worry about that, he said. Now, this noise, they felt that this noise was still bothering, though Srila Prabhupada had said, but this noise was still bothering. But to complete the work, there was no other way, that this had to be done, right? So then when Srila Prabhupada tried to rest as much as he can, his sannyasi disciples were coming and meeting him. And then he heard from Gargamuni and his party, they were selling the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So wherever Srila Prabhupada was, he always had a he always had a eye over all his disciples, what they are doing, or how they are doing, and how they are faring, or do they have any problems over there. And then over here again, it is very important because Gargumuni Swami and his party, they were selling the Srimad Bhagavatam sets and Chaitanya Charitamrita, and now they were also preparing to go to the Muslim countries and sell it. Now, this was what Srila Prabhupada, like, that's such a beautiful wording over here. It is said, Srila Prabhupada said, I take the dust of his feet on my head. Loknath Swami told Srila Prabhupada that whoever is preaching to the Muslim countries, if they are making an effort to preach Krishna consciousness in the Muslim countries, those disciples are really very dear to him, and he will take the dust of his feet on his head. So this is what the level of spreading Krishna consciousness was for Srila Prabhupada. On the other hand, Loknath Maharaj had also come, Loknath Swami Maharaj had come, and he also gave him the report that in the Indian villages, he is going to each an Indian village through the bullock carts. They are traveling and they are spreading Krishna consciousness. So, yeah. So then when Srila Prabhupada came over here, now they had that when Srila Prabhupada was in London, the doctors, whatever he told them, Srila Prabhupada was like, he followed it, but not very strictly. So the doctor had told him that Srila Prabhupada, sorry, the Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj told the doctor, what Srila Prabhupada is cooperating, he is doing what you are saying. And the doctor knew that Srila Prabhupada would not compromise or anything. And Srila Prabhupada, so he said, what, like if your Srila Prabhupada, if he waits over here from Friday to Thursday also, until Friday also, if he waits, that is a big thing before traveling. And then Srila Prabhupada said, see how Srila Prabhupada always tried to find humor in things. So Srila Prabhupada said, forget about Thursday, forget about Friday. But I even came earlier than that. On Tuesday itself, I traveled. So this is a super compromise I have done. This is what Srila Prabhupada made a humor of it. And then he mainly thought that, this what these doctors are going to do. They're going to take my blood sample, then they're going to give me some allopathic treatment, and I don't want to be a doll in their hand. And Srila Prabhupada was very happy that he moved before that. But he felt that he tricked the doctor, because the doctor told him wait till Friday, and he said, forget Friday, Thursday. I went on Tuesday only, I have traveled. So he made fun in these ways also. Now Srila Prabhupada, because see what the prasadam which Srila Prabhupada earlier had, now he was no longer taking that, but he was trying to take all the supplements. Through the supplements, he was having his food. So there was the thing mentioned over here is that he was taking food in form of Complan. That's Complan. We had those supplement foods which we have. But then at times, Srila Prabhupada Lord got fed up of it. He said, what is this artificial food? I do not want this artificial food. Like all these you Westerners, you eat all this canned food, fresh, you do not eat fresh food, frozen foods, rotten foods, and whatever is left, you will keep it in fridge and again will you be reusing it. I do not want such fruits, such food. Give me fresh milk and fresh fruit juice and that will be enough for me. Nothing artificial for me, he said. And because Srila Prabhupada had to wait till the opening, and it was scheduled for Ram Vijay Dashmi. Okay, that's Dashera in 5 weeks. Now, this 5 weeks is very important over here because Srila Prabhupada waiting for such a long time in this place was also a really big thing for everyone. Now, as Srila Prabhupada had stopped this artificial food, he was supposed to eat fresh food or just fruit juice. But it is seen that Srila Prabhupada could not even have that much because his health was not so good, that he very little fruit juice he would drink, or the moong gel, that is the moong beans when they are soaked, the water, because that becomes very light for the stomach. So only that type of food he was able to eat. So just imagine, like when so much of less food a person is going to eat, how much energy that person might have, right? But it is seen that Srila Prabhupada did not leave his chanting. He not leave in sense, like wherever he was on his japa beads. He insisted that his japa beads should be kept in his neck, and he would chant silently. Whether anybody is massaging him or he's sitting, he will be still chanting with his japa beads. So then Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj said that that a certain doctor had suggested that he bought in, but Tamal Krishna gave argument that yeah. So then when there were suggestions that Srila Prabhupada should ask to see another doctor, when Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj said that another doctor means, and again, there will be the whole history, there will be new medicines and new things. So instead of that, we'll continue with what the earlier doctor had mentioned. And then Srila Prabhupada said, okay with it. Because Srila Prabhupada said that within few days, there will be opening of the temple and then I will go to Vrindavan. Tamal Krishna said he felt confident that, now see again over here that Srila Prabhupada, the exchange between Srila Prabhupada and Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He said that Tamal Krishna said that he felt confident that Srila Prabhupada would live to see the temple opening in Bombay and later go to Vrindavan. When these words came from disciples of Srila Prabhupada really felt very happy. May your words be blessed. Bless me that I may fix up my mind. Now, this is what Srila Prabhupada is asking. And Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he knew that he was nowhere able to bless his own Guru Maharaj. So then he just kept up his words, but then he was very faithfully serving Srila Prabhupada. And now Srila Prabhupada was not following what the doctor had mentioned over there. And instead of that, Srila Prabhupada only yeah, no, wait 1 second. This is the same thing. Artificial food. Yeah. This is the same, in this Prabhat, it has been printed twice. Yeah, Tamal Krishna was pleased to see Srila Prabhupada take some encouragement, although he felt that he was not in such an exalted position that he could give encouragement to his spiritual master, because normally disciples are going to take encouragement from their Guru Maharajas, right? So he felt very uncomfortable when Srila Prabhupada said that, but whatever pleased Srila Prabhupada was okay with him, because Srila Prabhupada always said, encourage me. Srila Prabhupada told them that encourage me so that I can live a little bit more longer to see the development over here. Now, Srila Prabhupada, yeah. Now, Srila Prabhupada over here, it is said that Srila Prabhupada tested his devotees, because then Srila Prabhupada gave them options that, what should I do? Srila Prabhupada would ask them, what do you think? What should I do? Should I see over here, said disciples are deciding whether he should fight to live or pass away peacefully. And the disciples over there were like, they were always confused that what is Srila Prabhupada asking and how can we choose something over here. But Srila Prabhupada wanted them that what his disciples are doing or how are they willing to take up decisions. This is what at an advanced stage of devotional service, testing his disciples and to see whether they are willing to serve him or see what type of love they have. So Srila Prabhupada tried to test his disciples also. And he asked them, what do you think? What should I do? Should I live over here or should I go to Vrindavan or should I pass away peacefully that this mission is done? And this is what all Srila Prabhupada tried to talk to his disciples on deciding things for him. But yet, again, in the further part, it is said, whatever Srila Prabhupada asked his disciples, yet Srila Prabhupada's word was the last word. Whatever he decided was going to be the last word. So for all the disciples, whatever was for the well-being of Srila Prabhupada, they should do that. Ultimately, Prabhupada never changed from being the authority. See, though we feel, the Srila Prabhupada is asking all the disciples, so is he going to go by their word? No. Srila Prabhupada was being the ultimate authority and the master of his disciples, and they always knew it. So always they had that loving exchange between Srila Prabhupada, and they always followed the exact bhav of serving Srila Prabhupada. Now, yeah. Over here, as we've mentioned, that the massage which was done to Srila Prabhupada was really no massage because he had become very frail. But then to his faithful servants and his surrendered servants who tried to make Srila Prabhupada as easy as possible so that he could feel good about it. And Srila Prabhupada again used to say that if you encourage me, then I would say, see, one day Tamal Krishna asked Prabhupada if he felt he could stay for 5 weeks until the temple opening. And then Srila Prabhupada said, if you encourage me, then maybe I will be able to stay. So Srila Prabhupada was telling his disciples that, you know what, I'm staying over here because you are encouraging me. Now, when his when Srila Prabhupada, again it is said that Srila Prabhupada, when he had his humor when he was preaching, he had, whenever it was needed to be aggressive, he was aggressive in his teaching, in his preaching, and also he was very thoughtful of others. So what others felt, he used to always take their thoughts into consideration. When Abhiram joined from England and explained that Srila Prabhupada's Bombay quarters were fit for Indra, the king of heaven, Srila Prabhupada broke into a big sustainable smile. Because Srila Prabhupada always, he wanted, his office was Mumbai, he said, right? Now, when again there is a humorous thing which comes over here, that when Abhiram came to meet him, and when Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was not over there for a few hours, and then he returned back to the service of Srila Prabhupada, and then he said, I was just resting because I was a little bit tired from the trip. And then Srila Prabhupada teased him by saying, you already rested on the plane. Don't tell me anything. He said that you just like to sleep, especially in the car. So this is what, like Srila Prabhupada, a very loving exchange between Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Now, then there were people coming to meet Srila Prabhupada when he was in Mumbai. People used to come to meet him. But then Srila Prabhupada's visits were also very restricted. And then very selective people were allowed to meet him because of Srila Prabhupada's health. And so Mr. Bhogilal Patel and Mr. Mahadevia, they came to meet him. And then they were, after talking to Srila Prabhupada, taking his permission, they were allowed to meet him. But then at this time, when they saw Srila Prabhupada, the guests who had come to see Srila Prabhupada, they were also very surprised looking at Srila Prabhupada's health. And then they talked about the political climate which was going on, whatever things were going on in the politics. And then Srila Prabhupada, like it seems that Srila Prabhupada showed a little bit interest in that, because he really wanted to change this politics system also, which should be it should be favorable for Krishna consciousness. So he said they are missing the point. He said the whole world is, this is the disease of the body. One party is no better than the other. And he was very, as we said, Srila Prabhupada was very aggressive in his preaching also. He said that, he compared that it is stool, one side or the other, what they can do. Both the parties, like whether any party comes, they have their own agenda, they have their own things, and they are missing the whole point, that we are the servants of the Lord. This point is always missed by these parties. So this was the discussion which was going on between the people who came to see Srila Prabhupada. Now, everyday work for the Radha Rasbihari temple was still going on, and the daily kirtans and aartis. Now, Srila Prabhupada could not go to the temples downstairs, but he used to hear the aartis and the kirtans going on from his bed spot, wherever he was lying, wherever he was seated. And then Srila Prabhupada, in between, when he used to wake up, he used to think about some things which were going on, and then he used to remember some things. And one day he woke up and he said that this, he remembered the words from the Bhagavad Gita, Daivahe Isha Gunamai Mama Maya Durantya. And then Srimad Krishna Goswami Maharaj said that, were you thinking about this when you were resting? And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, I was dreaming about it. See, like, I don't know what dreams we get, but Srila Prabhupada always had dreams about Bhagavad Gita, about Bhagavatam, and about preaching. Now, Brahmanand Swami, he had arrived from England. He wanted to see Srila Prabhupada, so he had come along with him, how the senior disciples would have to maintain what he had given them. So, you cannot expect me to have a young body like you, he said. You cannot expect me to live forever. It will have to depend upon Krishna. And then Brahmanand listened, but because all the disciples over here, when Srila Prabhupada was in this mode, they always felt that Srila Prabhupada can leave anytime, and they wanted to make as much as time they could with Srila Prabhupada. So they were coming to see Srila Prabhupada. I'm just reading over here, whatever, if Srila Prabhupada's words are there, I would not like to skip it. So Srila Prabhupada's pleasure, I cannot take these with me. Prabhupada replied, I am leaving them for you. What is it? He said that Srila Prabhupada's quarters were beautiful, and that not only these quarters, but everything in Krishna consciousness movement is simply made for Srila Prabhupada's pleasure. This is what Brahmanand Swami had said. And then Srila Prabhupada said, this is all for you. I'm not going to take anything for myself. And then, as we know that all the Maharajas and all the Swamis, they were coming to meet Srila Prabhupada. And when Jayapataka Swami Maharaj also came from Mayapur to see him, and at that time was the time when the Mayapur, the attack on the ISKCON center in Mayapur had taken place. But then now Srila Prabhupada had withdrawn himself from all these management things. He was just into that the temple of Juhu temple should be built up, and he was just concerned with that. So whatever other things came, it was taken to the management, and Srila Prabhupada said that please do not involve me into this. Now I'm aloof of all these management things. Now, Srila Prabhupada at this time, he used to, when he was seated in his room, he used to love that someone would read Srimad Bhagavatam to him. And then he would, so some devotee would read aloud the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then Srila Prabhupada would meditate on the hearing and seeing Krishna through the words of the Bhagavatam. When Tamal Krishna suggested that these readings go on each day, Srila Prabhupada said that is the most important thing. Read as much as possible. Again, this is again an instruction for us also, I feel, that read as much as possible without wasting any time. Whatever time you have, read. And Srila Prabhupada at this stage, this age also, he was still reading. When the devotees or when the Srila Prabhupada's disciples came, they always had a exchange with Srila Prabhupada with how the movement started, or how now when this was related to the Bombay land, all the obstacles which they had in building the land or getting the land, in starting the construction, these memories were just revisited. Now Srila Prabhupada, he also remembered that when he had been with these politicians, like he remembered that when he was in Mr. Sethi's car and they were going to the beach, how he had to Mr. Sethi's German Shepherd dog, he was sitting next to Srila Prabhupada. So all these things Srila Prabhupada was remembering. And when at this time, Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj says that all these were not very easy battles. So these battles were fought by Srila Prabhupada to get the land. Like when you read Giriraj Maharaj book, how I built the temple, it shows that what the obstacles were there that time. He was fighting for the strength to go on preaching for Radha Ras Bihari. If they desired, at the end of the recitation, Tamal Krishna offered his obeisances and said, "All glories to Krishna's great soldier." And this is no other than our Srila Prabhupada. So now Srila Prabhupada, as we move ahead, Srila Prabhupada had been, as we know, that he has been waiting for, oh, I'm so sorry, it is going ahead. We'll finish in few minutes. That he wanted to go to the parikrama around Vrindavan. And there were many, some of these disciples thought that no, Srila Prabhupada should not go on the parikrama, and some of them thought that yes, Srila Prabhupada should go on the parikrama. So according, and now again, see this, though there were two things or two views, but one should have in mind that it is not a drift in any ideas or in any points. Over there, only the thing is whether some of them are thinking that Srila Prabhupada should go on the parikrama or to Vrindavan, or some of them are thinking that no, Srila Prabhupada should not go to Vrindavan. Both of them were thinking only for the betterment of Srila Prabhupada, only for taking the consideration of health of Srila Prabhupada. And so there shouldn't be any dual thoughts over here. So when they were all these big leaders of Srila Prabhupada, we will just name them among the GPC which were present was Tamal Krishna Goswami, Brahmananda, Surabhi, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Hari Suri Maharaj, Giriraj Maharaj, Upendra Prabhu, Abhiram, and Kuladri. They all were present surrounding Srila Prabhupada. So this was the GBC which were present. And now Srila Prabhupada put the ball in their court. He asked them, what do you think I should be doing? Should it be better that I should go to Vrindavan, or should I be staying over here? So then everybody had their own views. Everybody told, so Brahmanand said that Srila Prabhupada should definitely go to Vrindavan. Then Hari Suri said that it's really difficult to decide. But then when Srila Prabhupada said, it is for my health that I'll go to Vrindavan, that time Hari Suri also said that yes, then you should really be going to Vrindavan. Gopal Krishna Maharaj said that no, you should be remaining in Bombay and look at the opening. Then he had his own reasons for it, that there will be so many guests coming up, and then who is going to, like, it would be really nice that if you stay back over here. And then Giriraj Maharaj said that yes, it's very difficult for Prabhupada, that every successive day is really getting hard, and also here a lot of work is going on and there is a lot of commotion going on. So it is like he had also thought that he should be going to Vrindavan. Okay, that waiting over here would be very risky, he thought. Then Upendra Prabhu said that he really did not know what to do. Abhiram Prabhu said that he was in favor of going to Vrindavan. So such voting was taken by all of them, that what should be exactly be done. And then Prabhupada wanted also to discuss the best course of treatment. His friend Dr. Ghosh had written recently and asked Tamal to read a letter. Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he read it aloud. Dr. Ghosh advised that Prabhupada should go to a good hospital and have a thorough checkup, and then he should start, and then he should see what is really wrong with his health. But then Srila Prabhupada was not much into it. What he said, that what would be the course of medicine which would be given. Then Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj mentioned that maybe it might be some intravenous feeding which is given. Then Srila Prabhupada said, that means what? No real food. There will be, if there is no real food, then what digestion? All artificial feeding. And with this thing, he thought that he should not be taking a different doctor or going to any hospital. And then he said that maybe then Ayurvedic medicine was perfect. Then Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj said that Ayurvedic medicine was perfect. The practitioners have, but then again, Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj had a problem over there. He said, you know what, Ayurvedic medicine is perfect, but the people who are doing it have lost the science. So they do not have much of practice. And on the other hand, allopathic is not very perfect, but the people who are practicing have much knowledge and they are expert in it. So everybody was making their own ways and means by which Srila Prabhupada, anything for the betterment of Srila Prabhupada could be done. And then Srila Prabhupada was not going to go to the hospital, and then he wanted to take a stance that what should I do, whether he should be living in Bombay, or should he be going to Vrindavan. And then finally Srila Prabhupada said that hospital is of no use. It is a guarantee that only they are going to play with the scientific knowledge and with my body, and I do not want to go. And he always also gave an example. He said that my Guru Maharaj, he did not even like to take an injection. So he said he does not want to go to any materialistic scientist. He said, instead of that, I'll prefer going to Vrindavan. And at this time, he asked all his disciples what should he be doing. And they were really two thoughts, because 6 to 7 of them were there, and then they were going to take a vote, like what should we do, whether should we remain in Vrindavan or we should remain in Mumbai or go to Vrindavan. And after a lot of hassles and after a lot of talking, then Srila Prabhupada, it was again Srila Prabhupada, whatever Srila Prabhupada thought would be the final decision. And then Srila Prabhupada said, let's go, he said. And then Surabhi, then yes, Prabhupada said Surabhi also. And then they decided that they will be going to Vrindavan. So this is what is there about this chapter, wherein Srila Prabhupada's further journey to Vrindavan will be talked about in the next part. Over here, a little bit explanation is there given by Kuladri, where he asks Prabhupada that it is really disturbing when there are arguments going on about it. But then again, Srila Prabhupada said that we have to understand that it is not advice. How can they give you advice like that, he thought. But then we should understand that in such a sense that it was not an advice. It was always whatever was best for Srila Prabhupada was what this GBC was trying to do. And it was again in Krishna's hand, whatever decision was going to be made. It was again according to the plan which was done by Krishna. And then Prabhupada smiled and closed his eyes. Yes, he said, that is a very good advice. Hari Bol, everyone. This chapter, you just feel that this should not end and it should go on. You just feel that we should continue the next chapter.
That's the magic.
Yes, Mataji.
That's the magic of your narration.
No. It's magic of Srila Prabhupada.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful, so heartfelt and so nicely. You added so many lessons, just by watching these great souls, what we can imbibe. So that was so beautiful. It was like being an extension of the Govinda class, but for a mature audience. Yeah, it was beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for giving me this. I don't know. I'm so lost over here that I always tell Induleka Mataji, just pull me somewhere And I think she and you, three of you, you pulled me over here. So I'm really, really grateful to you that you gave me this chapter, because reading Srila Prabhupada in any chapter is just very, it just brings tears in eyes. I have like, I tried not to cry in all this, because when I was reading through it, when I was writing, I was like in tears when I was reading, because, like you cannot even imagine what they have gone through, and what comfort we are at. And yet at least I know you all are very wonderful devotees, and yet I do not make any effort. I feel I've become lazy after coming here. So please, wherever needed, please pull me, Mataji's. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Sita Priti Mataji. Very, very wonderful narration, and it's really, really interesting to hear from you, Mataji. Thank you so much for taking up time and giving this beautiful summary, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. My pleasure.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Such a
Hi.
beautiful narration. Beautiful, beautiful, excellent narration. You know, at least I'll talk about myself. I was hearing with a lot of attention. So it was so good. And so many beautiful points came out. Of course, Srila Prabhupada, every day, every word is an instruction, and it's so good. And as you said, that how Prabhupada was asking blessings from his disciples, and was asking encouragement from his disciples. And this itself, reminded me that how Prabhupada always walk his talk. After all, these purports are Prabhupada's talks. And how Prabhupada, in one of the purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, he writes the same thing. When Mahaprabhu was going to Vrindavan, and there were a lot of devotees who were accompanying him. And at that time, Sanatan Goswami, Mahaprabhu actually asked, and then Sanatan Goswami said, no, you should not take the whole entourage with you to Vrindavan. And Mahaprabhu said, yes, I think so. Your suggestion is good. That how Mahaprabhu was also taking suggestions from his disciples. And then Mahaprabhu said, okay, now next time I'll not go now. And next time when I'll go all by myself. And then finally Balbhadra Bhattacharya, he accompanied him. But the point is that how, Prabhupada was also taking the same thing from the life of Mahaprabhu.
Exactly.
That yes, he was also taking encouragement from his disciples. And, in one sense, he would never think that they are his disciples. He would always think, that my Gurudev has sent you to assist me in my service. That was his mood. Very beautiful class, Mataji. Very, very beautiful session, I should say. And yes, as you said, it must go on, because especially this Ante Leela of Prabhupada is so heart-touching, so heart-touching. No. Yeah. But yeah, thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Even I got speechless now. But thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to add, please add points, whatever your realizations.
Hare. Sorry, Vrindagopika Mataji, Hare Krishna, please go ahead.
Mataji, you go ahead, Radhe.
Hare Bol Mataji. Sorry, one second. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hi, Krishna Mataji. Where are you?
I was trying to avoid that sound. Sorry about that. Hare Bol Mataji. Wonderful class, Mataji. I mean, I know this is such a difficult pastime to narrate, and it is very heart-touching, very, very sweet exchanges between Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees, and how, like, I really wish, we could be that kind of a disciple who understands the Guru Maharaj's mood. And somehow Krishna Maharaj mood is really, I mean, that is what we need to learn.
Yes, ma'am.
Really wonderful, Mataji. I loved how you always share. Okay, this is your realization from this. This is your realization, how we should be towards our Guru Maharaj, how we should try to serve them. Very beautiful.
My drawbacks, Mataji, I'm just trying to tell myself that these are the points where I really, really need to be working on.
Mataji. Yeah, and we are so happy to have you always come and be on the call and be active in Bhakti Sangha. It's just so happy. It's wonderful to see. one thing that you mentioned was that we need to always take care. I think you explained it in much better words. We need to make sure that we take care of the other devotees around us and learn to be very grateful to everyone. Talk about it. It's important to tell people that we are grateful for having them here. Thank you all. Really very happy. Thank you so much, Mataji. Beautiful session. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, because what I've seen is like there will be drifts, there will be differences in opinions everywhere. But like with those also, how to stay together and how to have the greater thought in mind, that is very, very important. And it's what I feel is like once you are into Krishna consciousness, and if you follow those principles, life in the outer world also will be easy. But it will not be only humility on your part and arrogance on the other person's part, right? And this is what is going wrong in today's world. Like we as devotees, we try to take care of things, but then we get exploited because of all these nonsense things going on. So I just wish that each and every person can become Krishna consciousness.
That's another beautiful blessing for everybody, Mataji. Thank you so
Very
much.
good. Hi, Krishna Sudevi.
Hi Krishna Mataji.
Hi, Gol. Can I see you? That's okay. That's okay. Well, if you are there, Hari Bol, look at you, sweetie.
She moved to Atlanta.
Oh, wow. You are getting to see Priti Vilasini Mataji. You're getting to see Adi Gadadhar Prabhuji. Very nice. And so many other Ratnavali Mataji, you'll get to see them also.
Brenda Gopika Mataji, she's on the...
Mataji, next year we're moving to Atlanta. We just went to visit.
Year. Okay. Good for you.
Next month.
Next month. Okay. Next year only, Mataji. 2023, right? Sudevi is also right.
Mataji, I loved the class, how you explained and how the construction noise was music for Prabhupada.
I know.
Temple and how Prabhupada was asking for encouragement from the devotees. Thank you very much, Mataji. Explained very beautifully. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Sudevi. Did you feel that, oh, this is a kids class and what are the adults doing in this class? Thank you, Sudevi. Thank you so much. You're such a sweetheart.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna ji, Sita Priti Mataji, Koti Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gopinath ki jai. Whenever we hear Srila Prabhupada Amrita Mataji, the tears is not stopped, Mataji. And today's class is very touch to heart. It is hard to explain your class in 2 minutes, but try to add 5-7 points, Mataji. That is touch to heart. All the points when hear Srila Prabhupada Amrita, how much hard time Srila Prabhupada passed, and they give us a Srila Prabhupada Amrita, Sisi Bhagavatam, Sisi Chaitanya Amrita, Siti Chaitanya Charanamrita, and Sisi Bhagavad Gita. You explained about Sri Radha Gokulanandan, they look spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada is very sensitive, asks devotee, and that Tamal Krishna Maharaj said not to do Guru Puja, the last stage of Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj resting feel bad, peace of mind. Then you explain about the Tambal Krishna Maharaj learning lesson from Srila Prabhupada, and from all over the world, all the disciples, Srila Prabhupada disciple came to meet him, and Srila Prabhupada has to massage, but there is no muscles in that body. So, and hardly Prabhupada take a मूक का पानी लेते थे, और he said, I don't want to any complan or anything, but I will take milk and fruits. And when Tambal Krishna Maharaj learning lesson, that whenever all the Srila Prabhupada see all the devotees from all over the world, and Kirtan is going on, and Srila Prabhupada is so happy and enjoying tapping like this, and back to India, back to Mumbai, Srila Prabhupada dreamed that please pray for me that at least 4 weeks I get I stay in this material world so that I visit to Shri Radha Rashbihari. Prabhupada passed from so much hard time. I hear from H.H. Gopal Krishna Maharaj because I cannot go to Gopinath temple with 2 kids. So always I attend all the program in Shri Radha Rashbihari. Gopal's Garden School is there. So we attend there. So I hear from H.H. Gopal Krishna Maharaj, H.H. Bhakti Charu Maharaj, H.H. Jaipataka Maharaj, how much hard time Srila Prabhupada passed to buy the Shri Radha Rasbihari temple land, and especially that one advocate and that government is given so much hard time, and finally by the mercy of Shri Radha Rasbihari, they get the land, and teaching of Bhagavad Gita, or read Bhagavad Gita every in India, everybody said, I am a God, I am God. And Prabhupada is so disturbed and so much material Mayavadi philosophy. And Prabhupada is so Prabhupada is passed from so much obstacle, not outside obstacle, but even with some Vaishnava are given so much hard time to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada chanting and massaging. Srila Prabhupada planned to come Pennsylvania from Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Ghanshyam Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada said this statement is touched to heart that Parampara system, my Guru Maharaj pushing me. I push to all Srila Prabhupada disciple, and I push to their disciple to preach Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji's message, make a temple and print a book, give Krishna consciousness to all the people. What is the Krishna Sudesh Sarva Dharma Parityajam? Then you explain about Shri Radha Gokulanandan. Please give me a strength to serve Shri Radha Rashbihari. In childhood, Srila Prabhupada father is make a Rath Yatra, and when Srila Prabhupada see a first Rath Yatra in I think Paris or California, I forgot, such a big chariot and all the so much prasadam, and Srila Prabhupada think this is all the mercy of my Guru Maharaj and our Guru Parampara and Six Goswami. And Prabhupada, the tears come from Srila Prabhupada's eyes when he see the big Shri Jagannath chariot and Shri Baldeva and Shri Subhadra Rani's chariot made by I think Jaidev Prabhuji make. Please forgive me if I am wrong. And living and when Prabhupada see all these pictures, then Prabhupada is so Prabhupada's voice is choking. Sisi Radha Landaneswari's deities after Janmashtami, there is a 81 Srila Prabhupada birthday, but the 81 candle, but Srila Prabhupada said 82 second birthday candle should be there. And Srila Prabhupada said Vrindavan is my house and Bombay is my office. Opening of Bombay temple, time of Dasera, Brahmananda and other Vaishnava came from the Africa, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj also asked Srila Prabhupada, please take Sridham. Srila Prabhupada said that Tamal Krishna, can you please take me Sri Dham Vrindavan Dham after Shri Radha Rasbihari का वो हो जाएगा उनका वो अभिषेक शब्द हो जाएगा बाद में. Gargamuni selling Sri Bhagavatam in Muslim country, Srila Prabhupada and Loknath Maharaj. I have seen my eyes that Loknath Maharaj is so much hard time. H.S. Loknath Maharaj, he started from the cart and बुलक कार्ड से वो गाड़े में जाके छोटे विलेज में जाके कृष्णा कॉन्शियस देते थे. And Prabhupada said that those who are preaching in a Muslim country, they take the dust of my lotus feet. And Loknath Maharaj gave a traveling in the bullock cart and give a Krishna conscious. And then you explain about I want to Prabhupada said, I don't want to drink complain, but please offer a fruit and milk. I will take that and move Pani. Then that Vijayadashmi, the food take how much energy, this mook pani and there's little fruits and milk, how much energy Srila Prabhupada get, but his japa is attentively. Mataji, last 28 days is very hard time for me. It's a very hard dose medicine, not able to sleep. So whole night hearing Srila Prabhupada japa, and that give me a strength to get up from, its leg is become like a wooden leg, but only Srila Prabhupada give me a strength that you can walk, you can walk, you can walk. And Krishna Maharaj see the temple in Mumbai and then enter to the and take the Srila Prabhupada in Sridham Vrindavan Dham. Srila Prabhupada said, "Hey Krishna, please pray for me. Please bless me that I can enter in Sridham Vrindavan Dham and I can see the Shri Radha Rasbihari Abhishek." Srila Prabhupada tested his devotee, fight to live, to pass away. If you exchange me, then maybe 5 weeks I can stay. So Srila Prabhupada Amruta is so much encourage all Vaishnava that what should our mood to show Srila Prabhupada. And we have to give at least 15 to 20 minutes to read. But in my case, if I'm sitting reading, I sleep Prabhupada. But hearing Bhakti Sangha, all teachers class, somehow able to apply in my day-to-day life, and I sat in a newcomer Srila Prabhupada family. Whatever I hear from all of you, koti koti dandavat pranam, Sita Priti Gopi, Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai, koti koti dandavat pranam to all Bhakti Sangha teachers. Jai Jai Nityananda, Jai Jai Gauranga, Shri Srila Prabhupada Amruta ki jai.
Hari bol Mataji. So nice, Mataji. You're making notes when the classes are going on. It's really, really, really great. Really wonderful, Mataji. Thank you so much for summarizing it such beautifully, and your realizations, and also how you talked about Loknath Maharaj and His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj's stories. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing it. And I pray that you get better soon and you can serve your deities much more better. Hari Bol. Mataji, should we?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Does anyone else want to share their realizations?
Hare Krishna, Sita Priti Mataji, what is your schedule of Govinda class? I would really love to join now.
No,
Mataji.
Govinda class runs from Monday to Thursday, Mataji, at 6:15 CST.
Monday and Thursday.
Monday to Thursday.
No, every day you take.
No, Sita Mataji takes class on Monday. She's being very humble. She doesn't want to reveal that.
Okay, every Monday 6 to 7, right?
Mataji, Friday also Mataji takes.
Oh, Friday also. Oh my God. Okay, Sita Priti, I'll talk to you offline.
Get up 4:30 early in the morning and give in class, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you so much, dear Sita Priti Mataji, for this wonderful session. And if no one has any more realizations, we'll end the call here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patita. Sita Priti Mataji ki
jai. Jai. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.